Welcome back. So in the last session, we have discussed about list and tuples. We have discussed what are the various operations we can do with list and tuples. What are the various functions we have in list and tuples. In today's session, let's go to the another data structure. Let's discuss about the another data structure, that is dictionaries. So what exactly is dictionaries in general? Before talking about dictionaries, I need to talk about one important point here. For example, you have a list or tuple something like this. Okay, so I'm creating a list like this L1. Okay, and in this list, I'm having some values like maybe something like this, maybe something like this, maybe something like this. So here I'm having some values here. Okay, okay, and something like this. Here, if you just look at these values, you as a human, you are intelligent enough to identify what are these values, right? Maybe you can say this is the name, right? You might assume that this is your name, this is a name, this is a age, this is a city, this is pin number. But what is this? Few people might assume it as a mobile number. Few people might be assumed it as like an ID. It might be anything. We are not sure about this. What is this? But we are intelligent enough to identify this, right? So here, if we just look at this, we can say it is a name, it is a age, it is a city, it is a pin code, and it is something. This is something, maybe a mobile number or a maybe a pin or maybe an ID, something like that. But we are not sure. Even your and one more important thing is we are not exactly sure is this age or not. Maybe it might be age or it might be something else, right? So even your machine also, your system also, your computer also doesn't know what are this. This might be name or something else. This might be age or something else. This might be city or something else. This might be something else. Your computer doesn't know what are this, and you are not sure about these values, right? So in the list, when you are creating a list or a tuple, you can create a list of values, but you don't know what exactly that value represents, right? These are the values, but you don't know what are the values represent. But if you get a situation where you get a requirement where you need to define what exactly that value represents, maybe what exactly this value represents. This value represents a name. What exactly this value represents? A age. This value represents a city. This value represents maybe ID. This value represents a pin code. So when you want to give a specific representation for every value, you will be using dictionary. Okay, to represent every value with a specific key, with a specific denotation, that is called as a dictionary. Okay then, so let's see how a dictionary works then. So what's a dictionary first thing? So dictionary is a group or collection of not elements, but a dictionary is a group of key value pairs, key and value pair. Okay, so it's a group or collection of key value pair. As I told already, in dictionary you don't only have values. For every value will be having a denoting value. I mean, you will be having a key, and that is the collection here. So in general, it is something like this. It will be something like this: a key and a value, a key and a value, a key and a value. Okay, let's see how exactly you can do that, how exactly you can create a key and value. It will be something like this: a key and a value, a key and a value. So it is used a lot in our data structures also, in data science and data manipulations. Let's see how can be done. But as you know that in Python is a dynamically typed programming language. So we don't explicitly give that it's a dictionary, or we don't explicitly tell Python that it's a dictionary, right? We should have a denoting factor, like how do we have square brackets for a list and how do we have parentheses for tuple. For dictionary also, we have a specific denoting factor, and that is your curly brackets. So if you are able to see this kind, if you're anytime if you found this kind of curly brackets with the key value pair like this, it's a dictionary. So your dictionary is denoted by a curly brackets, something like this. Okay, something like this, a curly brackets, and it is something like this. So you'll be having a key colon value. This, you can see the key and value are separated by a colon. This is very, very important. Okay, so in a dictionary, the key and value separated by a colon, comma, You can have a multiple key value pair. That is the reason it's called as a collection of key value pairs, right? So here key and value separated by a colon, and multiple key value pairs are separated by a comma. So another key and value. So like this, I can create a multiple key value pair in a form of a simple curly brackets, or we call it flower brackets or whatever. Okay. So this is how a dictionary represents. Now let's go and create a dictionary and let's explore a dictionary. Okay. So let me go back to the code. So in this, you can just do like this. I'm taking a random variable called as d, and I'll start with a curly bracket. So right now it's an empty dictionary right now. So if I say type of d, it's clear and empty dictionary. It is dict. So in short form, one more important thing I forgot to tell you, that in short form in Python, dictionary is called as dict. Okay, it is called as dict. This is very important. Okay. Now let's try to create some key value pairs in dictionary. So you clearly know, right? In dictionary, the key and value are separated by a colon, and the multiple key values are separated by comma, right? Let's talk about this. So dictionary D, and in this I'm giving a key and the respective value. And of course, as you're creating a let's talk about this also, like what can be key and whatever can be a value. But right now I'm creating a keys of strings. Okay, so name Abhishek, maybe age, giving some random value, um, maybe gender. Okay, this is how you create. So key colon value comma key colon value comma key colon value, and maybe city. You can create this like this multiple key value pair, maybe mobile. Okay, maybe mobile, some random mobile number. So like this, I can actually create a group of key value pairs, something like this. And if you just look at your dictionary, it is something like this. Okay, this is how our dictionary looks. This is how our dictionary looks. Perfect. Perfect. Now, one more important point we should discuss is dictionary doesn't support indexing. Like list was supporting indexing and tuple was supporting indexing, right? But in dictionary doesn't support indexing, means we cannot slice your dictionary based on positions, or it doesn't have any position. So for example, if you say now d of 0, we would not get first index. It says key error 0. Then how do you slice your dictionary? So you can slice your dictionary with help of your keys. If you want to slice your dictionary, you should do with your keys. So how can you do that? So it is very simple. You can simply say, for example, if I want a value called as Abhishek, so if to get the key, so if I say d of name, so you can see this is your key and this is your value, right? This is your key and this is your value. So name is your key and Abhishek is your value. So you can get the value Abhishek with help of your key name. So you can do like this. You can simply say d of name and you would get Abhishek. Or if you say d of age, we would get 28. So like this only we can slice your dictionary with help of your keys, but we cannot slice using indexes. Okay. For example, if you want your gender, male. Okay, like this. Like this, you can get your values from your keys, something like this in your dictionary. Next important point is in dictionary, coming to the immutable and mutable point, in dictionary keys are immutable. In dictionary keys are immutable. What is meant by keys are immutable? Once you create your key, you cannot modify it. For example, now here I'm having a key called as name. I cannot modify this. I cannot update my name to some other key. It is not possible in dictionary. Okay. One more example of what how key is immutable means. See, right now we learnt about mainly two immutable data structures, that is string and tuple. So, as key is immutable, you can have only immutable objects as your key. For example, name string is immutable, so we can have string as your key. And also we know that tuple is immutable, right? So we can also have tuple as your key. So if I try to create tuple here, and I'm just creating for an example just to understand, to make you understand. For example, if I say 1, 2, 3. So here I'm making your tuple itself as your key. This is possible, you can see. Tuple itself as your key. For example, if I say d of 1, 2, 3, 4, yes, you'll be getting Abhishek because tuple itself is your key. But if you try to create a list as a key, this is not possible because keys are immutable. So if you try to give a mutable objects as a key, this is not possible. So from this, I can I can clear the point. I can say the point that yes, the keys are immutable. Means keys only supports immutable objects. Okay, it can have only immutable objects. Okay, it can have only immutable object. These points you can write. Okay, next. So as keys are immutable, one more important point is you can also add the all the immutable objects. For example, integer is immutable, so you can make integer as your key, not a problem. So if I say d of 1, you'll be getting Abhishek. Or you can make float, because float also is immutable, so you can make float as your key, or you can make boolean as your key. So apart from any mutable object, any immutable object can be your key. Okay, any immutable object can be your key. So like this. So like this, you can work with your dictionary keys. Okay, keys are immutable, but values are mutable. Means once you create your value, you can modify it a number of times you want. For example, let me get back to my original dictionary as it is. For example, tomorrow I want to just change this name with some other name. For example, if I want to change the name, so what I can do like this: d of name. D of name is Abhishek right now, right? I'll just modify this. So I'll just say D of name equal to, maybe I'll just say Mahesh, some random name I'm giving. And if I just look at this, yes, it got updated, right? Your name got updated. Or for example, if I say, right, something like this, it got updated. So like this, I can update my name when a number of times I want. I can update my values like this. So again, values can be either be a immutable or mutable object. It can be anything. It is not compulsory that value should be only mutable or immutable. It can be anything. It can be anything of this both. Okay. Next. So in this way, the keys and values works in dictionaries. And next important thing is the entire dictionary is mutable again. Your entire dictionary is mutable means if you want to add a new key value pair, you can add it. If you want to remove a particular key value pair, you can remove it. So all these operations can be done in dictionaries. Let me show you. For example, I want to add a new key value pair. Right now we have a key value pair like this, right? If I want to add a new key value pair, let us assume here I want to add maybe pin code. So what I can do, right now pin code is not present. So if I say D of pin code, you would get an error. You would get a key error saying that pin code is not present. Okay. But if I want to add pin code here, you can do like this: D of pin code equal to maybe 5 lakhs some 85, some random pin code I'm taking here. And if you look at your D, yes, you have your pin code appended. So you can add a new key value pair like this. Okay, you can add a new key value pair like this, and you can also remove a key value pair using a function. We'll see that. But yes, this is possible. So you're not updating, you're not creating a new dictionary, but in existing dictionary only you're adding a new key value pair. So from this also I can tell that yes, dictionaries are immutable. So from this mainly 3 points we have discussed. That is, keys are immutable means you can have only immutable objects as your key. So once you create your key, you cannot modify your key, but values are mutable. So once you create your value, you can change your values multiple times. For example, let us assume that you want to change your pin code to, let us assume you have shifted and you want to change your pin code. So you can change it like this, 7004 maybe. Okay, now you can see your pin code changes. So from this, values are mutable, and your entire dictionary is mutable because you can, to the existing dictionary, you can add a key value pair and you can also remove a key value pair. So these are the main 3 points you should understand regarding dictionaries, right? Okay, so now let's explore a few functions of dictionary. So already we have seen how to add a key value pair into the existing dictionary, because we know dictionaries are mutable and we know how to add a key value pair. So with our functions, whatever we have right now in dictionary, let us try to remove the key value pair and do some more additional things with the dictionary. Okay. So coming to the first function which we are discussing in dictionary is pop item. So what pop item does is, so whenever we call pop item, that is dictionary dot pop item. So you know, right, how to, first thing, if you want to know how to work with the dictionary, means how to see the dictionary's functions, you can simply say d dot tab. So if you just simply say d dot tab, you can see all the various functions available in the dictionary as usual, like how did we did for list and tuple. Now whenever you call d dot pop item, it removes the last key value pair. Okay. So for example, let us assume this is my dictionary, right? This is my dictionary. And here I'm having all this values like pin code and mobile number and all those things. So the moment I say d dot pop item, you can see it is removing the last key value pair. More clearly, last inserted key value pair, last key value pair. Again, if I call d dot pop item, it will remove the, so already in the existing dictionary, the last key value pair got removed. So this is your key value pair right now. This is your dictionary right now. So pin code got deleted. Now, whenever I say d dot pop item again, this time mobile number will be getting deleted. Mobile value key value pair will be deleted because that is the last item right now. So in that way, if you call pop item function, it will remove the last key value pair from the dictionary. It's similar to pop function of list, but, and one more important thing is, as dictionary doesn't support indexing, you cannot remove the elements based on indexes, but you can remove the elements based on the key. So if you know the key of which element you want to remove, you can remove. But for that, we don't use pop item, but we use a function called as pop itself. Okay, we use a function called as pop. So let's see how do we work with pop. So whenever I call d dot pop of specific name, okay, of a specific key. For example, if I say d dot pop of age, okay, d dot pop of age. So here it removes based on the key. Here pop item removes the last element, right? But here pop removes the element based on the key, means the key value pair based on the key. So whenever I say d dot pop, it will return the value. And if you see your d right now, yes, it has removed based on your key. So when you want to remove a specific element based on your key, you can use your d dot pop, and inside that particular pop function, we have to give your key. So whenever you give a key inside that particular pop function, it will remove based on the key. So in that way, your pop function works. So pop item, it will remove the last element, and it will it will uh, return that particular element here. Whereas d dot pop of age or d dot pop of specific key will remove the element based on key, and it will return the value. Cool. Next, we have one more function called as update. But before talking about update, first thing we should understand is, if you want to update a specific value of a specific key, means for example, right now the name is John, right? Now I want to update this value with some other value, maybe something like Mahesh. Okay, so if I say d dot name of Mahesh, then what happens is automatically your existing key value pair will be getting updated like this, right? Your existing key value pair will be getting updated like this. This is how you'll be updating a specific value of a key. But we also have an update function. Means here, by using this particular technique, you can only update a single key value pair. Means if you want to update a multiple key value pairs, you should write multiple times, like d of name is equal to minus g of gender is equal to something else, d of something else, right? But if you want to update a multiple key value pairs, the best option is to use update function. So here what update function does is, in update function, it also takes a dictionary itself. So for example, if I say d dot update name, and if I give this name, the existing key value pair. So if how update function works, let me explain you. For example, whenever you are updating a dictionary with specific key value pairs or multiple key value pairs, it will just check first whether that particular key is present or not. If a particular key is present, it will update with a value something like this. So for example, if I say d dot update of name Abhishek, so already that particular key value pair is present, so it will update with this, right? Update this, perfect. But if by chance a particular key value pair is not present, for example, if I say d dot update this one along with city, means here we just carefully observe, here this one is the existing key value pair, right? This is your existing key value pair, but this one is a new key value pair. Here also, if they have taken a dictionary itself, you can see it's a dictionary itself. Internally in the update function, I'm taking a dictionary with multiple key value pairs. Okay, these key value pair is already known, already there, but this key value pair is a new one. So whenever I call this, what happens is, you can see, uh, if that particular key value pair is already present, it will get updated. If that particular key value pair is not present, it will actually add it. So update function can be used for both purposes, either to update an existing key value pair or to add a new key value pair. Okay, so update function can be used for two things. What are the two things? First thing, update an existing key value pair, right? And or add a new key value pair. These are the two major reasons of your, I mean, main uses of your update function. Okay, this is how update function works. So you can see one more example I'm taking, age and mobile. I'm just adding. You can see it got updated. So you can see now your data, your dictionary is having name, gender, city, and also previously it was not having age and mobile. But I'm adding a new key value pair. It is getting updated. So in this way, your key and value pairs get updated if you are using update function. Okay. So mainly two things, update an existing key value pair or add a new key value pair. Perfect. Next. Now, and one more important thing is, for example, here we also already worked with multiple lists and multiple tuples, right? In the same way, if you want to work with multiple dictionaries, for example, we have these two dictionaries. I want to join these two dictionaries into one. Or maybe I want to update the dictionary two values into dictionary one. Means I want to join these two. Then also I can use update function. Means for example, I can say like this, d1 dot update d2. Okay, if I say d1 dot update d2, here I'm having in this d1 I'm having all this name and city, in d2 I'm having age and mobile. So let us assume these both are different dictionaries but belonging to same person. Okay, so I can just update this two and make in one, right? So what we can do is, when I say d dot update d2, the key value pairs of D2 will be updated to D1. So D1 will be getting modified as dictionaries are mutable. So it will get updated also. So let's see what happens. So whenever I say D1 and D2 something like this and D1 dot update D2, you can see, sorry, I should run this. Let me run this. Okay. So whenever I say D1 dot update D2, you can see it got updated. Means all the elements of D2 is present in D1 right now. I mean, it got updated to D1 and your D2 will be as it is. D2 will not change because you said D1 dot update D2. So D2 elements will be going to D1. D2 will be as it is. So in that way, you can work with two different dictionaries also, right? Right. So these are a update function work for updating your data, updating your dictionaries, key value pairs, pop to remove your key value pairs, and pop item to remove the last key value pair. Done. Perfect. Then there are a few other functions. So these two functions, pop update and pop item, is for modifying your dictionary. But there are also a few functions to work with your dictionary. Like for example, we have a dictionary function called as keys. This is also a very important function we use a lot. So what keys does is, it will return all the keys of a specific dictionary. For example, now this is your D1. So this is your D1, right? Here in D1 you have name, city, age, mobile. The moment you say D1 dot keys, it will return all the keys in a form of a dict keys object. Okay, of course it's kind of a list only. So if you want, you can directly convert into list, not a problem. But yes, it will return in this particular format. Okay, so you'll be getting all the keys. So these are the various keys present in your dictionary, like name, city, age, and mobile. Cool. In the same way, if you say d1 dot values, so d1 dot keys, what happens? It will return all the keys, right? Return all the keys. In the same way, if you say d1 dot values, it will return all the values, as simple as that. And moreover, this will be helping us to check, for example, a specific value is present or not, or a specific key is present or not. It will be used for multiple things. Let's see that in our further codes. But yeah, so whenever I say d1 dot keys, it will return all the keys, like you can say name, city, age, mobile. And when I say d1 dot values, respective values like Mahesh, Bangalore, 29, and the mobile number. Okay, cool. Next. Now, when you want to, for example, when you want to get a value based on the key, how do you get it? It's very simple. So if you want to get a value based on the key, you'll be doing d1 dot age, d1 of age, you'll be getting like this. Or the other option is, you can do like this also, d1 dot age. You can do like this. You can get your, okay. Okay, so this is not working, but yeah, so you can get like this. If you want to get your value based on the key, you can get d1 of h. This is one way of getting. The other way of getting the key value pair is, I mean, if I want to get a specific value based on the key, there is a function called as get. There is a function called as get. So you can use this get function and get a value based on the key. So what you can do, you can say d1 dot get of h, and you'll be getting the value. Both are same. This one and this one is same, but here you're doing through simple slicing. Here you are using a function and getting a specific value. That's it. That's only difference. But both are same in terms of the working. Okay. So whenever I say d1 dot age, I'll be d1 of age, I'll be getting this, and d1 dot get, you'll be getting this. Okay. In the same way, for example, yeah, this is what regarding get. Now I should talk about a very important, I mean, very useful function whenever we are working with data science. This particular function will be using, that is called as from keys. I should talk about this from keys. What exactly is from keys? What from keys function does is, it will create a dictionary from a list. Okay, it will create a dictionary from a list. For example, you have a list like this: a is equal to 1 2 3 4 5 6 something. This is your list, let us assume. Okay, if I want to create a dictionary from this particular list, you can use from keys function. But how can we do that? It's very simple. Right now I'm not using an existing dictionary. I'm creating a new dictionary. So what I'll do is, I'll take an empty dictionary like this. This is an empty dictionary, right? So it's an empty dictionary. So in this dictionary, I want to use this elements of the list as my keys. So I can simply say from keys, as the name says. I can say from keys of A. Okay, empty dictionary dot from keys of A. So if I say like this, every value of your list A will become a key in this dictionary. So let me run this first. So you can see, whenever I say empty dictionary dot from keys of A, every value, you can see every value of your dictionary is, every value of your list is a key. So 1 is your key, 2 is your key, 3, 4 and 5. You can see every value is your key, and by default the values of this particular keys will be none. By default, this values of your keys will be none. Okay, so what happens here, whenever you want to create a dictionary with help of a list, you can use this from keys. You can see I'm taking an empty dictionary. This is an empty dictionary. I'm calling dot from keys A. So I'm filling this empty dictionary with this particular keys. Okay, that is first thing. Second thing is, now what about the values? The values are by default none, right? Now, okay, the keys whatever we have, the keys whatever we have, that became your keys, like whatever values we have in the list, that becomes your key. But what about the values? Values, guys, all values should be same. I mean, all values can be given a same value. We cannot given a different values for the from keys function. That is first thing. And if you want to give a value here, you can give by giving a comma and giving another argument. But how can we give this? So for example, if I say like this, test. So you can see all the values are test itself, right? So here, for example, I want to give a different values for different keys. That is not possible. By default, all the values will be none as usual. If you don't provide any values here, by default, all the values will be none. But if you want to provide your values, you can provide like this. Maybe for example, if I say data, all the values will be data. So this will be really helpful. And moreover, I want this use case in many cases. Means, for example, I want to replace multiple value by a single value. For example, I want to replace 1 2 3 4 5 by data somewhere. I can use this kind of functions. So we'll be having this use case soon. Okay, not only this numbers, integers, you can make your keys as some other random values also. For example, if I say b is equal to a list of strings, maybe like hello or test or data, some random strings I'm taking here. And if I say, or maybe strings with integers, I'll take, then I'll just say dictionary of from keys B. Automatically every value of your list will become a key. You can see every value of a list become a key. So hello is your key, test is your key, data is your key, 2 is your key, and 3 is your key. And value will be same for all. By default it is none, but it will be same for all. For example, I'll just say data is your value. So value will be same for all. So like this from keys function works. You can take one more example here as it is. Okay, next. The next function is, so I'm just taking a dictionary, one more dictionary like this. See, now we talked about almost all the functions in the dictionary, I can say. We discussed about many functions in dictionary, like clear, it will just clear your dictionary. Copy, as already we have discussed how copy function works in list, the same exactly it works in dictionaries also. So from keys we have discussed get, items, key, pop item, update. Now there is something called as items. We should talk about this items function. So basically, as I told you already, dictionary doesn't support indexing, right? But if you want to support indexing, you can use item function. So what items function does is, whenever I call d dot items, your dictionary will be converted into a list kind of thing. We call it as dict items. In that, we'll be having tuples. So it's like a list of tuples. We can see it has been converted into a list of tuples like this. And here, each tuple is a group of key value pair. So first element of your tuple is key, second element is value. First element of your tuple is key, value. Second element of your tuple is key, value. Third element of your tuple is key and value. So every element is a key value pair in this particular tuples list of tuples. That is what dict.item does. So it will convert into list of tuples. But actually by default, it will be in a dict items format, dict items object. But if I want to convert into a list, it is very simple. I can say list of. If I say list of, automatically it will convert into list, something like this, list of tuples. This is called as list of tuples. Now I can save this in a variable. I'll call it as L underscore D, some random name I'm giving, list of dictionary. Okay. Now if I just look at your list of dictionary, it will be something like this, where you'll be having a list of key value pairs. I mean list of tuples in the form of key value pairs. Now if I want the second key value pair, I can say like this, d of L underscore d of 2, I'll be getting the second key value pair. If I want the last key value pair. So in this way, you can use items function and you can make your dictionary also supports indexing. I mean, of course, you're not directly supporting indexing, but you're converting into list of tuples, then you're able to support your indexing operation. And moreover, this items is used a lot. This items function is used a lot when you are working with loops, especially when you want to iterate your dictionary with loops. This particular item function will be helping a lot. Okay. So in this way, most of the functions in our dictionary we discussed. The last function we can discuss is clear, as usual. As I told you already, clear will be clearing a dictionary. So I can simply say d dot clear. Yes, and if I say d right now, you can see all the key value pairs will be removed. So it will just clear your dictionary. So in that way, your dictionary function works, and we can use dictionary for multiple operations. Especially in future, we will be working with a data structure called as data frame, which is a tabular kind of structure. In that case, also dictionary will be used a lot for doing multiple operations with data frame. Okay, so it's like a mini table like structure. I can say dictionary is kind of a mini table structure where keys will be having and with respective values. Okay. However, let's explore dictionary more once we start our implementations of our data science and data analytics.